My question was listening to Shruti and Smriti and festivals. I can imagine that there are other ways to celebrate, but is that spoken about in Shruti? What would be the right way to really celebrate? Or is Shruti really about higher things, self and...
What festivals you should celebrate, your customs, your rituals, which direction do you face while worshipping? Shruti has nothing to do with it. It neither opposes nor supports. It says we leave it to your discretion. What we call as Lokadharma, popular religion, it goes extensively into these things. How many times a day should you pray? What men should wear, what women should wear, and when should you send your kid to school? A long list of do's and don'ts. An entire instruction manual about how to live your life. Shruti has nothing to do with this, nothing at all. Shruti doesn't worry at all about these things. Shruti worries about only one thing, which is...
My question was listening to Shruti and Smriti and festivals, given that Holi is coming. For fraternity, happiness, equality, perhaps festivals play a role too. The confusion, I don't know if Shruti speaks of festival or how do we celebrate for happiness and coming together. But for instance, now when I celebrate my festivals, if it's Holi, whatever, playing with water, color, when water is scarce, or similarly for Diwali, lighting lamps, lighting crackers, not doing that. I can imagine that there are other ways to celebrate, but is that spoken about in Shruti? What would be the right way to really celebrate? That actually brings us all together, or is there a way of celebration or anything at all, if the question is clear? Or is Shruti really about higher things, self, and does it matter? That.
Shruti doesn't worry at all about these things. Shruti worries about only one thing, which is your liberation. What you will wear, liberation. Liberation from your inner bondages. And obviously cannot be liberated within if you are in shackles outside. So that too follows. What you wear, which direction do you face while worshipping? Your customs, your rituals. How many times can you marry? At what age should you marry? Whether or not you should marry? What festivals you should celebrate? Shruti has nothing to do with it. It neither opposes nor supports. It is indifferent. It says we leave it to your discretion. Once you are awakened, it is indignity for me, says the sage, to dictate these things to you. My job is to wake you up. And once you are awakened, you take care of these little things yourself. Why should I tell you what men should wear, what women should wear, and when should you send your kid to school, and whether or not you should emit carbon? Shruti is not going to come and tell all these things to you. But what we call as Lokadharma, popular religion, it goes extensively into these things. How many times a day should you pray? Which direction? Which pilgrimage sites? A long list of do's and don'ts. An entire instruction manual about how to live your life. Shruti has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. In fact, Shruti is so disruptive. It challenges even your Varnashram Dharma. It challenges even the four Purusharthas that we hold with such respect. So we talk of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Shruti says nothing doing. We don't agree to this. We talk about your Varn, so you should do this. This age, so you should do this. That is Ashram Dharma. Similarly, the Linga Dharma, Shruti does not agree. You are Chetana, consciousness. And what you are, hungry for is liberation. And that's the only subject matter of Shruti, and that is Sanatan Dharma. All else is time-bound, all else is changeable. You are intelligent, you figure out how to do it. We don't want to discontinue it. We are also not encouraging you to continue it. Once you are awakened, you decide for yourself. That's the approach of the Shruti.
How to celebrate Holi?
How do you celebrate Holi? There is the Puranic myth. There is a Puranic myth. And it can be very, very beautifully interpreted in light of Vedanta. So the fellow is going right against his own father. So, naham dehasmi. Bodily associations don't matter. For the sake of truth, I can go even against my father. Please understand. And if you are cunning and drunk with power and authority, some or the other way will emerge to bring you down, as happened with Hiranyakashyap. Then the legend of Holika. The fire that you burn for others, you will get incinerated in it. That's the nature of ahankar. It thinks it is doing bad to others. It operates in a binary. It says, I can gain only by snatching from the other. That is ahankar. If you operate this way, we do not know whether or not the other would lose, but for sure you will lose just as Holika lost. So Holi is a great festival of awakening if understood in the Vedantic way. First thing is, and Hiranyakashyap, if we go back, he first of all, how did he start? He was a devotee. He was a devotee. And what did he ask for himself? He said, I will not die this way, I will not die that way. So blind devotion doesn't work. You can be a great devotee and still be operating from the center of ego and greed. And then whatever you want is sakam. What you are doing is for just your own sake. So even if you happen to obtain something, it will be used in the service of your ego, and that will bring destruction to everybody, just as Hiranyakashyap did. And then emerges somebody from his own family, his own son, who says, even if he is my physical father, I value truth more than my father. And then Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita, he valued truth, and the truth came to protect him. In the legend, it's in a very physical way, very dramatic way. We know that, right? In real life, it might not be so dramatic. But then we have to get to the essence of things and not remain trapped in the minor colorful details. Right? So if you can understand what the story is pointing at, then Holi can be a festival of awakening.
Just to summarize this as a student again, since the Shrutis talk about liberation, so according to them, our goal as humans is liberation. And if we go out searching, where do we find liberation now? There will be many people telling, now, is ghat pe jala do, you burn. After you die, you get liberation by burning yourself in a fire.
It says go in. Further, it is not Shruti that says that your goal is liberation. Every instinct that you have, every cell in your body is crying for liberation. Why else are you talking to us? Why else do you eat? Why else do we continue breathing? Why else do we get up every morning? For the sake of liberation. So it's not that Shruti is impressing on you that you must get liberated, it's a moral thing. No. You exist for the sake of liberation. And it's not that Shruti is needed to advise this to you. You must know it on your own. So Shruti says, go in and discover what your heart is beating for. It is beating to be liberated. So that's the advice it gives.
I agree with him. So he's speaking much better than I could have put it.